Yeah, thanks for coming back to my YouTube channel today. Today's something a little bit different. We're going back to a bit longer form content with the sort of table tennis talks as we used to do, but this time with a bit more of a purpose. So, first of all, I'll introduce Nick, let him say a few words, and then I'll say what the video is about, really.
So yeah, I'm Nick Clackett, and I run the Keynsham Coffee Company, which you may or may not have heard of. It's essentially a little three-wheeled van that gets parked up in Keynsham Memorial Park on a Saturday morning from 7 until 1. I've been doing that now in Keynsham Park for about 5 months. Got another month or so to go on that little experiment of a 6-month project. And yeah, just there on Saturdays at the moment, but hoping to build on that next year. And aside from the coffee, I'm a good mates with Mark here, who's taught me a lot of table tennis skills over the years. It is years now, and but I'm happy to say I can still get the odd win over him every now and then if he goes easy on me. But yeah, that's who I am.
Yeah, and yeah, luckily we don't film those ones, Nick, so that's not so bad, is it? But yeah, basically today's video is, as you've seen, introducing my good friend Nick here, because we've got a very special collaboration going on at the moment. So recently introduced junior coaching for the first time for Keynsham Table Tennis Club. For those who don't know, that is my baby of just gone 5 years now of volunteering, running that session. And it's first time we've attempted to actually have a proper coach on board and to have some more structured training sessions. So at the minute, we've had quite a few talented youngsters come through, a lot of which I think I'm fair to say actually beat me now. So that's actually quite nice to see as well. But yeah, just wanted to give them a bit more structure. And Nick and his company, Keynsham Coffee Company, very kindly agreed to sponsor it. And without such sponsorship, these sessions would, barely break even at the moment, just because are looking to do it to have a more affordable product for people in the Keynsham community. So not just for people that can afford elite coaching, but for anybody to come along and do it. Having said that, it is limited to 6 numbers in this first run, just so that we have the structure for those players and just experiment to see how we're going to move forward and keep going with it. So without any further ado, Nick's already briefly mentioned Keynsham Coffee Company. So Nick, I really just want to find out a bit more about the inspiration behind it, how you sort of had the idea and got started with it.
Yeah. So like I say, it's been about 5 months now. I mean, I tell a lot of people who come down the park when they ask about it, it might be a midlife crisis. I mean, the jury's out. I'm just kind of going with it. But it was a lockdown project that got out of hand, I suppose, is another way of looking at it. I years and years and years ago used to have a flower stall in southeast London. Very happy time, and then life changed, responsibilities changed, and I've always had the idea of doing something in a market vibe again. And yeah, I love coffee, and it was a bit sort of, I was on eBay. I've always had saved coffee vehicles, converted vans, horse trailers, that sort of thing. And one popped up, and my good wife, my understanding and supportive wife, said, "You know what? Like, we've got the garage now. Why don't you just get it? And if you do something with it, great. And if you don't. But essentially, she said, do something or stop talking about it." So she called me out on it, which was great. Yeah, I know nothing about coffee vans or towing. First and foremost, so I had to find someone who I know who could tow something. Drove all the way up to Preston, bought the van, drove to a pretty ropey estate in Preston with a brown paper bag full of cash, not entirely sure what I was walking into. The bloke helped me load it up on the trailer, and we drove it back to Keynsham, and I got it in the garage, and I was like, wow, now what do we do? So that was August 2021. That was so the first thing I did was apply to the council, hoping to start in January 2022. That took a little bit longer than we thought, but in that time I managed to get the van running, get the machine working, learn how to be a barista, find a nice coffee roasters that I wanted to work with, fix the water tank, fix the carburetor, redo. Oh man, the learning curves were unbelievable. And it all just kind of carried on from there. Very, very helpful people in the community have been absolutely key to, I mean, on paper, it's a 3-wheeled van that works for 6 hours on a Saturday, but it's hopefully a lot more than that. And I've had so many people, so much support from Keynsham, other businesses, mechanics. Matt, who's also a sponsor of Keynsham Table Tennis Company at Timpson's Garage, he's the person who actually got the Piaggio up and running, which is no mean feat. It hadn't driven in 5 years. He spent a day between Christmas and New Year's on my driveway with me, getting it working. I met Matt through table tennis, so already the connections.
Just going to stop you real quick there, Nick. We've had an interruption by Oscar playing with his bones, so let me quickly go start the dog. Bear with me, mate.
That's fine, mate.
Oh, that's what always happens. There we go. Sorry, yeah. So, yeah, Oscar, I knew he was going to make an appearance today, but I didn't know he was going to play with his bone. But yeah, just touching on what you just said there, actually. So we kind of skipped ahead a little bit with, mentioning Matt Timpson from Timpson's Garages, who, like you say, are already a sponsor of the table tennis club. And obviously you met him through table tennis. So we might just touch on that a little bit. So, you've played table tennis in a local area. And for the first time last year, wasn't it? Like in a proper sort of league environment. How did that experience go?
Yeah, I mean, the other fantastic thing about the club that Mark runs is it's so accessible. I moved to Keynsham in 2019. Didn't know anyone in the area. Had just one son at that point, and it used to be a Friday night session at the pavilion. Saw him post about it on Facebook, I think, and I thought I'll go along to that completely, pay and play, no commitment, no massive commitment. Went along and I absolutely loved it. That was August 2019. Walked into a club, a room full of people from young teenagers to, there was a chap, forgive me, I can't remember his name, 80 something years old, hell of a tennis player.
Bernie Nash, yeah.
Bernie Nash.
Very, very famous around the Bristol area, yeah.
Oh, man, Bernie Nash was one of the first people I played. Absolutely smashed me all over the table and did it without really moving his feet, which made it even more impressive. But yeah, I loved it from the moment I went in there. With young children now, it's not the easiest thing for me to be able to get along to stuff. The thing I love the most about the club is that I know it's always there, but it's definitely not something that we should sort of take for granted because there's so much work goes on. From Mark, it's a tremendous effort on his part and often quite a thankless task. Little things like people stand behind to put the tables away. I try to always do things like that because I know that that's the difference between him getting home reasonably soon or not. But yeah, it was such a friendly, welcoming club. I played such a wide variety of people, and Mark kind of encouraged me to keep going, and other people encouraged me to keep going. And yeah, just last year, like Mike said, I took the leap and went into league play for the first time. Got put in the Key Centre C team alongside Matt, who I hadn't met. Turns out he was a mechanic, and I remember the first time I met him, I said, "Oh, you're a mechanic, aren't you?" Because his mum, Sue, is the captain. And I said, "Guess what I just bought?" And I sent him a picture of the coffee van, and he was like, "Oh, brilliant! I'd love to have a look at that." So to say that table tennis got my coffee business off the ground wouldn't be an understatement at all, actually, in that sense, because not many mechanics would have touched it given the state it was in. So yeah, Matt and the whole gang at Timpson's Garage are brilliant, and obviously one of KTTC's main sponsors. Great family of table tennisters, actually, all across the board. Sue is a tremendous player. She's been playing at the club for a very long time. Playing for Key Centre for a very long time. And I guess that's a real kind of a perfect example of the table tennis community and how it can just open up a lot of other opportunities. And if nothing else, gets you meeting such a wide variety of people and everyone's got their stories to tell, and it's great to be able to get to know people over a nice game of table tennis.
Yeah, it definitely is, Nick. And I mean, yeah, I remember when you first came down, I thought, okay, left-handed chap, got a very good eye for the ball, and the very unique loopy kind of lobby style of playing table tennis. Then it's very addictive. Once you get into that rally, it's very difficult. You put a lot on it. It's very hard to break out of it. To try and come over the top of the ball to break round it. So no, it's very good. I mean, just obviously from first viewing you, I knew you must have had some sort of tennis, not table tennis, but tennis background. Like, you know, what sort of sports and stuff like this? And did you play table tennis when you were younger, growing up in, assumingly, London, was it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, on the sort of borders of southeast London and Kent, but yeah, I played tennis from a very young age and got called out for it a lot from people at table tennis because I'd stand about 2 foot back from whatever, even further back from the table and do these massive winding forehands that took about 5 minutes to do. And then people would go, "You play tennis, don't you?" And I'd go, "Oh, how did you know?" Yeah. But in adult life, that was years and years ago. But in adult life, because I work in animation Monday to Friday, we won't go down that road. It's a whole other avenue of my life. But a lot of animation studios have table tennis tables. So there's always been one about, and I've always fancied myself on a lunchtime whack around. And I think I bought my first bat, I don't know, about 2016 when we got a new table at work, and ended up playing every lunchtime for about 2 years. And then I get it's such an addictive sport. Honestly, I know people who watch this video are going to be, you'd imagine, into table tennis. But I mean, what I love about it is people who say, "Oh, I quite fancy giving it a go." You know, give it a go, because it is so accessible. You don't need to buy a set of golf clubs or a karate outfit or whatever. You don't even need to own a bat, because you'll be playing somewhere or someone who has a bat and a ball. It's such a good entry level sport to give a go if you don't know if you're going to like it. So yeah, table tennis is. I've played it a lot in adult life, and when I started going to the club, frustrating people, hopefully in a positive way, but also absolutely learning so much. Like I have no serve, which Mark won't say because he's too kind. But everyone used to say, if you could get yourself a serve, you'd be a decent player, which is a kind of compliment. But Mark's tried his best to get me to do some serves, and to be fair, there is one in there waiting to come out. I just I think I need to take it to the next level to get it going.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny you should say that, because, you know, hopefully if this, you know, coaching goes okay, and I'll just touch a bit more on the coaching aspect of what we're trying to do together. So obviously we're running this trial period of junior coaching, but the coach, I'll call him Coach Ricardo, he's going to be running the sessions basically, and his ambition then, he's doing his level 2 Table Tennis England coaching qualification. So these sessions sort of contribute towards that. So he gets his hours of practice in, which is great. And also the kids learn a great deal from him as well. But yeah, basically, he wants to carry on and do more advanced junior sessions, but also adult sessions. So, you know, a very affordable way for adults and improving players like yourself, Nick, to come on down and learn a very specific skill to what you're trying to achieve. So all of that is in the pipeline, hopefully, with thanks to yourself for getting us past that first hurdle. So yeah, very exciting times.
No, it's a great thing to be a part of. Like I say, the table tennis club as a kind of constant going on. You know, I remember the first session back after, you know, the mess that was 2020, you know, after lockdown. I was at the first session where we were, you know, disinfecting balls and not handshaking and sitting all the corners of the hall and stuff like that. But it was so good to get back to some kind of, like, not normality, we can't call it that, but just, and I remember thinking, wow, you know, like this is a special time actually, because people have been, all those people we talked about from teens to 80-something-year-olds have all been, you know, locked up for X amount of months, and just to get back into the hall, Fear Hall as it was, like new venue, and yeah, things were a bit different, but I mean, it was just nice to get back to that. The social aspect of table tennis, and specifically, you know, your club, Mark, is probably something that we don't get doesn't get enough of a mention, but I know it means a lot of things to a lot of different people. To some people, it's their main source of social interaction in a week. To other people, it's part and parcel of their weeks, and people factor it into that. So it does a tremendous deal of good for a lot of people. This junior thing is brilliant. There are some unbelievable junior table tennis players in Keynsham. They just keep coming, and they just keep getting better and better. I mean, the people who are now playing for Key Centre, hopefully in the upcoming season, there's some, but it's just some next level stuff. So to give them a space, on a Friday evening, to have some six people is a great number. They're gonna learn so much, and to have their space where they haven't got adults wanting to get on the table and just it's a great thing. And I feel like it's going to do them a wonder of good. And in such a friendly and safe environment, for young people to learn. So really, really happy that I can be a very small part of that.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I mean, like you say, we've got a lot of talented youngsters coming through at the moment. And Key Centre really, the C team that was formed, 2-3 seasons ago now, maybe. I think it's about 2 seasons with everything that's went on. That came about just from players from our social club wanting to play more table tennis. Because traditionally, when I joined Key Centre Table Tennis, probably about 9 seasons ago, there was always only 2 teams, and it was very rare for table tennis clubs to welcome new members because those teams are very set in their ways. Not for any fault of their own, just because it's a comfortable way of doing things. And so with the social table tennis aspect, I wanted more people to play the sport that I love and enjoy for so many years. And that's why, thankfully now we've got the C team. So that means that players from my club or from afar, or from away can come in and have that starting point in the league, like you've benefited from. Young Andrew Quinn and Nathan Cundy, both very talented kids who are both going to be on the training course, actually, came through last season as well. And before them, Chris Seacos and James Humble had a season in there as well, who were a little bit older teens, but, still thoroughly enjoyed it. And it's great to see them back, actually. We saw them back a few weeks ago, just came to the club after their breaks from university. And it was great to hear from them and, how they're getting on. And it's great to see these kids develop and learn social adult skills, really, by speaking to everybody in the room. There's no shying away from my club. I think that's one of the things that makes it quite unique and great, but also quite intimidating for new people coming into the session now, because everyone's developed so quickly. If someone comes to the club for, say, 4 or 5 weeks, suddenly their competence and their confidence on the ball goes up and up and up. So at the minute, our standards got pretty good. So that's why I think these coaching sessions will certainly help new players, absolutely new players to the club. So as part of the junior thing, we've got 2 brand new players enjoying the sport for the first time. So a guy and a girl. So we're going to pair them up, get them doing over the 5 weeks all the basic shots that they could wish to enjoy, to have a competent game, really. So yeah, we're very excited to offer not just advanced training, but beginner training in the same package. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that progression.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's really good. I just want to say the fact that people have been to university, it's a big deal that people come back, and I know you're very humble about it. But when I said about the table tennis club being a constant, people go away to university, come back, and they want to come and have a match. That's not nothing. You should be really proud of that. Like that's the environment that you've spent all these years chipping away to create. So I know that you don't. Yeah, not just. It's just you don't. Give yourself enough credit often, and like I say before, it's quite a thankless task what you do. So people like me and people like Matt, who can sponsor it, and Redfern, it's a drop in the ocean compared to what you actually put in terms of hours. So I wanted to get another compliment in there. That's the last one you're having now. I've given you far too many. It's too weird to be this nice to you. I feel like we should have a match after, just to get it out of our system.
Yeah, we'll have to play virtual Pong or something like that. Play a Pong or something. Yeah. But yeah, one exciting thing that we haven't announced on any of our socials, or even to the participants of the junior coaching that we spoke about briefly on text earlier today, was that we're actually going to do a bonus 6th week, aren't we? So we're going to be doing I'm going to shorten your brand name, but the Keynsham Coffee Cup. It's going to be the Keynsham Coffee Cup. It's going to be, and I haven't told you this yet, I hope to be an annual thing, to actually have the Keynsham Coffee Cup. and that's basically our our 6 talented youngsters that have been on the training course for the 5 weeks. On this bonus 6th week, they are going to actually have a chance to play against proper adults. So a team of your choosing, basically. Yeah, a team of your choosing. So, like I say, we're going to pitch them against people of a similar skill set, basically. So, we've got one lad called Josh, who is a Division 1 standard player. So you're going to need to pick a Division 1 standard player.
Absolutely, yeah. He's very good. He's beaten me every single time I've played him, which is...
So you could pick a Division 1 standard player, maybe, to play.
I'll shop around a bit more.
Sound right. Anyway, and then 3 of the other players are Division 2 standards. So hopefully you're going to play yourself. So pick another 2 players of Division 2 standard. And then I need you to pick, this is the fun part for you, I think, a little bit of recruitment drive, is to get 2 brand new players to the sport, adult players to the sport. Okay. And I'll leave that recruitment up to you. And this is putting you on the spot. You don't have to decide right now, but expect any of Nick's buddies who have played with him in animation studios or safety or what have you, just get that little text next couple of days, for a little call up,
a little training camp. Yeah. That's cool. No, I think that'd be brilliant. Like, I'm already trying to think of what I can do to make one of my coffee cups elaborate enough for people to want to win it. Maybe I just nail one to some sort of fake marble plinth. I'll get thinking on that as well. And there needs to be some kind of plaque-based thing. Yeah. And that'd be wicked.
No, that was the exciting bit I had to tell, like, yourself and the world, basically, that we're going to have this little bonus 6th week. It'd be great for the kids. It'd be great for the adults as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the kids will be under Coach Ricardo's care on that night. So, he'll coach them through as best he can on the night to hopefully come away with a win.
Well, let me go on record, Mark, and say that you're being selected. If you accept the selection, then great. And if not, I will shop around. You've got 24 hours to decide if you want to be under my captaincy, because I am quite insufferable, especially if I'm playing against younger people who are better. So I'm putting it out there. You're on my list, but no obligation to sign up just yet. You can mull it over.
I'll have to get a couple of decent training sessions under my belt this week. Absolutely. And then see if I've got the confidence to take on Josh. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Awesome. That's a lovely idea, mate. Really cool. Really like that.
Yeah. And so finally, just coming back around to your coffee business. I know you've got, the short-term plan was to have the 6 months, and that's nearly up in, I think I'm right in saying, end of October. Is that right?
October the 8th it is. So literally only 3 weeks left. It was always going to be 6 months. I could carry on, and the council are fine for me to carry on. I think I just need this little bit up to Christmas just to regroup, tighten a few things up on the van, but absolutely go again next year. I signed up not knowing if I'd sell, a single coffee, not really knowing what I was going into, and I'm pleased to say it's gone really, really well. So there's no doubt about coming back in 2023. I just think I need to. I've got a few events going on over Christmas to keep me ticking over with it, but I just need a little bit of time to get everything straightened out. Everything is broken at one point on this van. And I could do with 2023 not being the year of van breakages. So I think a couple of months, whilst it's dreadful weather as well, being stood out in the park, is better spent tinkering away in the garage and getting ourselves ready to go again bigger in 2023.
Yeah. And you've actually linked up with quite a few, keeping it very local and communal spirit of your venture. You've linked up with a couple of local businesses. Let me see if I get this right. It's Bristol coffee, isn't it, for the beans, and then Crumbs of Keynsham for the cakes, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's Bristol 20 for my beans. They've been brilliant. They're based in Avonmouth, but they did my training, serviced the machine. They've come out on several occasions to fix various things. Wicked. Crumbs of Keynsham do my brownies. Chris over there at Crumbs has been brilliant, and Chris actually Crumbs sponsor the Keynsham Kings, which is a local American flag football team, which I'm friends with the guy who runs that as well. There's just, Keynsham is just full of good people, and I won't hear anything against it. Like if you kind of if you just go by what you see on various Facebook groups, I feel like you'd never leave your house. But I've seen nothing but tremendous supportive people. The only way a business like mine is ever going to work is if people back it, and people have continuously. I'd say that 8 or 9 out of 10 people I serve, they're repeat customers, and you can't ask for more than that when you're just peddling coffee out of a three-wheeled van. I mean, it's great. Keeping it as local as we can. There's Wild About Flowers as well. The florist, I'm going to be working some of their Christmas markets, over courtyard markets over Christmas. Temple Street Canteen have come to my aid a couple of times when my grind has broken down. I mean, the list really does go on, and they're all local people who have no need to help me but have, and that's consistent with this town. It's fantastic, and Mark's Table Tennis Club is is an extension of that atmosphere and that ethos. Just good people doing good things. So love it.
Everything's interlinked as well, because was it the Kings of Keynsham? You said the American football team. That's actually got a link back to our table tennis club with Simon Love.
Yes,
he played at our club, got involved in table tennis for the first time really with our club, and now he's gone on to play Bristol League with, I think it's Page Table Tennis Club. So yeah, it's funny how all these little links get back around, isn't it? And it's great to see. And like you say, table tennis brings together teenagers to Bernie Nash to people in between like us, and everyone in between to talk to each other. And similarly with coffee brings people together, cafe culture, and obviously in the park, very idyllic settings with duck of the day and stuff like this, isn't it? So, really great to see. And just to shout out your social links, what's the at for most of the social?
So it's at Keynsham Coffee Co on Facebook and Instagram. I mean, I should be across it a bit more. I can't be doing with TikTok. I'm too old. But that's as far as I've stretched. But yeah, for updates throughout the winter when I'm not in the park anymore. Last day in the park is Saturday, October the 8th, 7 till 1. And then after that, it'll be a few bits and bobs around the high street, but then back again. Spring 2023, hopefully Fridays and Saturdays, but I'll confirm that once I've cleared that with my actual job.
Yeah, awesome. No, that's a little exclusive. Thank you for that, Nick.
Yeah.
But no, well, thank you very much for coming on, Nick, and hopefully people got a lot of value out of our talk just then. Hopefully it flowed and ebbed and flowed okay.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
No,
well, let me do one more compliment, Mark, because you're too proud. But yeah, seriously, you're doing a great thing. People love coming. There's been weeks when I couldn't get on because it's fully booked, and I'm like, that's great problem to have. If I can't get in the room because we're fully booked, that's all on you, mate. You're pushing it. You're doing a great job bringing people together, and it's brilliant. And if I may say, I'm very proud of you with your perseverance, because I know we've had some difficult weeks and months over the last few years and stuff. So well done to you, mate.
No, it has. No, thank you, Nick. And, you've been a great support just chatting to you sometimes over a coffee in the park, actually. Just to vent to someone at least about little discrepancies and bits that are going on. So, no, it's great to lean on people like yourself and Matt and Ken. Ken Milson actually doesn't get enough credit that he deserves for the local area. So we'll touch on Ken very briefly just before we close off now, because Ken Milson actually helped get me into table tennis when I came back from university in, when was that? 2000?
Don't say the year. Don't say the year. It makes you feel old.
Yeah. I meant 2020. But yeah, 2010 when I came back, Ken was running the Monday Social Club down in Bath, and it was a very similar vibe to this. Just turn up, play, enjoy. A little bit more emphasis on getting players into league, a little bit different. But anyway, Ken was the most enthusiastic person I've met. He helped me find the club, which wasn't Key Centre at the time, because I wasn't living out here in Keynsham. But no, he encouraged a lot of people, and not just in Keynsham, but in the Bath area, to give table tennis a go. And now he's stepped away from the Monday night, so I ran that for a little bit. But he's still very much chairman and very much involved in the Key Centre Table Tennis Club. So we have our home league games on a Wednesday night. So if anyone watching this ever wants to actually come and see what what proper table tennis is all about, in inverted commas, then please do get in touch with me here on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it may be. Yeah, just give me a message and say I want to come along and watch, and yeah, we'll get you watching some league table tennis really. But yeah, thanks a lot, Nick, again for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
You
Much
guys out there,
appreciated.
yeah, hopefully you guys out there can like, comment, subscribe. You want to see more of me and Nick, or want to see a recording of the Keynsham Coffee Cup, then do let us know. But yeah, otherwise, until next time, like I say, like, share, leave a comment, share with all your friends, talk about table tennis, and most importantly, get to a table, pick up a bat, and play. Thank you very much.
Thank you.